Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit, and I am running solo again today. Had a couple little problems again last night, trying to record for you guys. Don't worry, we're going to get it all together, and we'll both be here for Saturday. So, if you're new to the channel, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit a subscribe. We do a lot of Overwatch League coverage. About 5 days out of the week, we take a couple days off here and there. We come at you with our picks, our previews, our thoughts on general stuff, daily for the matches. And then we'll give you a review at the beginning of the weekend, do some other things. Sometimes we do some videos of outtakes, or we do our favorite players of the week, or, other big issues come up. We do that. Anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in, and let's get to it. So, a little bit of news from yesterday. Let's go over some other things that happened. Apparently, if you're in the market for tickets for the grand finals at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, they're currently sold out. So that's a big win for the Overwatch League for sure. I mean, I don't know what they're doing as far as like how the seating is going to go. I don't know if it's, they're selling out 30,000 tickets. There's only 10,000 per show. Whatever's going on. But it's still a big deal to sell out something like that your first year. Granted, you kind of got the best team in their home market. So I'm kind of going to go with that helps out a lot. Not that they wouldn't sell out to begin with, but it's still a big thing. But I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. I mean, I would love to go check that out. It seems like it's going to be a fantastic event, and I'm definitely going to be watching it, and Kel's definitely going to be watching it. We'll probably be doing some live stuff for that during that weekend, during the matches, and we'll have some things going on. Could be someone other than New York, but it could be a home game weekend kind of scenario for New York. And there's no referees in this, so it's not going to be like Golden State getting every call in every game, especially last night against the Cavaliers. Not that a lot of you guys care about basketball, but if you want to watch bad officiating, go watch that game. And watch the greatest player in the world almost beat a whole team full of good players. A bunch of bitches, but good players. That's all I got to say on that. Anyway, now to the matches. So, the first match yesterday, it went pretty much the way we thought it was going to go. But London looked good. Boston looked Boston looked like they're getting a little bit better. The second match was interesting. San Francisco, since they've gotten crusty as their coach, has become a better and better team every week, every game. And Sinatra proved who's the best Brigida in the league. I mean, we keep saying Mickey, but Sinatra pretty much kicked his ass. So, I mean, there's not much more you can say. Dallas looked decent. At times, they looked like the old Dallas, but, these teams were really playing. They're really going at it, and I really enjoy seeing that because, to be honest, and I'll get into this in a minute, today's matches are absolute trash. Anyway, San Francisco, they are just looking better every week. They're running dive when they need to, even when they shouldn't, and they're making it look decent, but they're also running the comps that need to be run on certain maps. Dallas, I think they got outclassed in this one. I should have saw that coming. I was thinking about San Francisco. I gave you guys 9 million reasons why San Francisco, I went reinforce. I gave you 9 million reasons why I thought San Francisco was good. Anyway, that was just dumb. And the biggest reason was I gave you Architect, and he just ran circles around them, as usual. And, other than Fisher, this is the best pickup that anyone's made, including signing guys, young guys that San Francisco's done. I mean, they've literally revamped their whole team, but he's the best thing that's happened to that team. And so is Krusty, their coach. Last match of the day, Gladiators, Philadelphia. Big implications in the playoffs. So, let's look at the standings for a minute. We'll get into that, and then we'll dive into the other matches. Tell you what, the Gladiators look shaky this week. And they had 2 big matches, but like we said, let's see the Gladiators prove it in a match that matters with a lot of pressure, and they did it last night. They came out, they looked bad on Blizzard World. They got Fusion steamrolled them. Without EQL, though, this team's a different team, and it showed. Shadowburn looked good, but he's not on EQL's level, as good as Shadowburn is, to me. And some of the other stuff they were doing, they just couldn't. The Gladiators were just better yesterday. And the Gladiators proved something to me. They came out. They were crisp. They were ready to go. And on Horizon, they played some good defense. They got steamrolled in the first map, in my opinion. They looked terrible. And I thought they were going to look like they did against Valiant, where they're going to play well and not finish. But they finished in the last 3 maps, so they started looking good. Okay, now let's take a look at the standings. The standings are going to be interesting, guys. We're talking about league standings here. So, in the middle, we have all these teams. Right now, your playoff cutoff point is the same as it was last week, where you have the Gladiators and Philadelphia in the last 2 spots tied in wins and losses. And the Gladiators have a slight edge in map differential, 5-map lead. Also tied with them are the Dynasty. Currently, they got to play today, which they're going to win. The Dynasty, if they win in 4-0, they will jump ahead of the Gladiators and the Fusion. So keep that in mind today. Houston's 1 game back, and that's all we need to talk about there. But it's a big mess in the middle. Now Boston is free falling right now. The Valiant are in 3rd, but they have the most important stat. They are in 1st in the Pacific Division, which gives them a bye. Right now, it would be New York and Los Angeles with the byes, and then you would have your seeding after those 2 would be London, then Boston, then Los Angeles, the Gladiators, and then Fusion. As of right now, it could flip-flop Fusion Dynasty later on, which I would rather see the Fusion in there at this moment in the playoffs to tell you the truth, because the Dynasty are a hot mess. But okay, so let's move on to we got standings. Now let's move on to the matches today. So we are going to have, in our first match, and pretty much all the matches today, we came up with a scenario with a match of the day, but this kind of day is just, and you're not going to get upsets today. I'm sorry. The closest thing you can have an upset if Boston comes up big and beats the Shock, which I don't think is going to happen. We'll talk about that. That's our match of the day. First 2 matches of the day are whatever. It's Houston will 3-1 Shanghai because they're friends with them, and they're not going to want to embarrass them. Seoul is playing Florida. They need every map they can get, and Florida mailed it in 3 weeks ago. Sorry, but it's true. They're just going through the motions, trying to get the season over, and trying to figure out what they want to do afterwards. Instead of playing like teams like Dallas and San Francisco, who are trying to win the stage, they're just kind of like, well, we're done. And I'm sorry if, I'm a Mayhem fan, and if you guys think that I'm being off base, I really don't care. It's the way it looks. The eye test to me says they lose a map, then they're like, fuck it, let's just get this thing over with and go. Now, also, I got to say a thing, because I am talking about something about a match here. The Dynasty, this is a great match for the Dynasty to come in, get some confidence, get a win. If they get a win, they bump Philadelphia. So this is a very important game for Seoul. It's an important game for Houston. They're not going to lose, though. And we're not even going to talk about that. Whatever. In the Seoul Florida match, players to watch. I would watch for Florida. In my sights, I have Manitin on Florida. Off-tank, one of the most underrated off-tanks in the league. He does a lot of the dirty work for that team when they do something, and they get something rolling that they can't finish. Anyway, that's another side note. He's the guy. He's probably right now, other than Saya player, the best player on that team, by far. On Seoul, I am going to be watching, I'm going to watch they do as far as their other off DPS that's not Fleta. So if they're going to play Wakid, if they're going to bring in Munchkin, or if they're going to do what they did yesterday where they played Wakid and Munchkin, take out Fleta, which is kind of a weird thing, but they did do that. That's what we got for in our sights in that match. And we both have, obviously you know who we have in both of these matches. We both have Houston, we both have the Dynasty. If you want to go with the in our sights on the Houston-Shanghai match, for Shanghai, I would watch Addo. That's the only guy worth watching. Maybe Gagori. The rest of the team is whatever. Diaz, okay. I'm not really into watching him. He's kind of all over the place, and he's kind of like solo queue ladder guy. Just doing his business, getting his SR. Anyway, Houston, I would be watching to see what they do with their DPS. So I'd be keeping an eye on their DPS line in general to see what they're running, because they're running into a lot of problems again with the versatility of their DPS. Also, they're just not they don't have with the juice that they had, like we keep saying this, they don't have the juice that they had like at the beginning of the season. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on their DPS. And let's move to the match of the day, which is potentially another shitstorm because Boston's not that good. They looked okay against London. They tied a map. They won a map. But they just don't look like the team that played last stage. And all of the stuff that we've been talking about, you know exactly what it is. And all the stuff everybody's been talking about. And it's true. Their DPS is handcuffed by their hero pool. And they were basically a straight dive team. They're coming around to the meta. Now, if you look at them in stage 2, they did the same thing. They can't handle change. Much like with the Mercy meta, they can't handle this change as far as their team comps go and all that. It's like they don't expect things to shift. They didn't think dive was going to go away. It's like they didn't think Mercy was going to go away. And it's not that dive is gone. It's just that situationally, you got to be able to play every composition. And they can't. Because their DPS don't have the hero pool, and it's just killing them. And their supports, honestly, have not been playing as good as they were playing Stage 3, where they went 10-0. Okay, so on to the Shock. The Shock look like the best team in the stage right now. They are together. They are playing at an insanely high level. They're being led by a good tank line, and Architect is just absolutely shredding everybody. When they run Architect and Baby Bay, especially like on Oasis, that's a killer duo. When they were doing that Farrah McCree thing, like they did against Dallas. First off, you don't really expect Farrah McCree on University, but I mean they've been running Farrah and McCree quite a bit on these King of the Hill maps. It's absolutely killer. Mostly because Architect just absolutely shreds everybody. I had rarely see anybody play Farrah that has that great of an accuracy with the rockets. I mean, maybe Fleta, maybe Libero. Those would be the two only other guys that I would say have that insane perception of where someone's going to shoot those rockets and kill them. But I have to go with San Francisco in this, and Kel is going with San Francisco as well. So in our sights in this match, for Boston, I'm going to keep my eye on, okay, they keep running Aim God instead of Nuss, along with Kellex. So we'll see what happens here with them. And for the Shock, I'm going to be watching, this time I'm not going to be watching Architect. I'm going to be watching Architect, but I'm not going to be focusing on what Architect is doing. I want to look at the supports for San Francisco as well. I want to see what Sleepy's doing, because him and Moth together have been great. And I just want to look at where those guys are at and what they're doing that's making such a difference for this team and, you know, keeping them alive. And, you know, Sleepy's become a mini Jonak back there, Jonak light, if you will, with the orbs and killing people and stuff like that and just helping out the team a lot. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for our Friday show. We'll be back at you Saturday with another one. Go over the Saturday matches. Me and Kel will be in here together. We'll get you all caught up and ready for the Saturday matches. As always, don't forget to hit a like, hit a subscribe, and also thank you guys for all of your support, all of all of your views and all of the watching and commenting and all that stuff. We do appreciate it quite a bit, and we're going to be bringing you guys some more stuff coming up. Like we said, we're going to be doing some World Cup stuff. You know, after the grand finals, we'll be doing some stuff during the playoffs. We will be taking a little bit of break for a couple weeks because I'll be going to Ireland and England for a little vacation. Kel will be doing some solo stuff, probably some streaming and stuff like that. And anyway, you guys have a good rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you later.